So good morning or good evening, guys, wherever you're at. I've been out for a couple of weeks. I've had several people coming on still, even when I've been out. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not 100%, but I'm still feeling a lot better. Today, we're going to have Matt
Hi
with,
everyone, guys.
with GMB Crush. I know y'all remember in the beginning of this, if you will, mastermind, I started and I showed y'all how we can reverse engineer any GMB using Matt's extension, Chrome extension. I'm going to let him tell you a lot more about it. I am not an affiliate of it. I just use it. I talked to Matt before, I guess, the launch and everything. And I use it mainly because I can sit there and I can take someone's GMB and look at it exactly, tell them how many words they're using, how many posts they're doing, how many categories they're using. And I use that data so I can reverse engineer a GMB I'm working on, and it helps me dramatically increase the rankings. So he's going to be leading the show today. I'm here. If you have questions, just if you raise your hand like you always do with me, and I will still be here, and we will answer these questions either during or after. That way you can see exactly. And I believe the tools, it's free. It's just it's an extension. And then you probably have a paid version eventually from last time we had talked, but the free version is pretty much all I use right now. But it's just got a lot of things that he's in the works and changing. It may look pretty simple, but it does a lot of work for you. But Matt's going to take over, and you got the floor from here. I got to share. Yep, you got it. Go ahead and take over. I appreciate you guys.
So, hi everyone, guys. This is Matt from GMB Crush. We are based in Bangkok, Thailand, and we started to work on this project since the past few years. So mainly this project born because I own a digital agency here in Thailand since 2009. And since Google My Business became also a reality here for clients, and many clients started to asking about Google My Business, we have been we have been doing a lot of work manually. So in the past few years, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, following also other influencers on YouTube. And we realized a few years ago that most of the time when an SEO person has to do an audit, he has to do a lot of work, a lot of manual work, because as we will know, GMB has a lot of areas that needs to be analyzed and audited. So since you have to do a lot of work, I start to create a kind of internal protocol for the staff that is working at SEO Heroes, which is my SEO agency here in Thailand. And it still was a lot of work to do. And I also see a lot of many of the videos that William did on the channel, and then there is a lot of manual work. So we started to think on a way that how we can automate the process, how we can make things a little bit better, and how we can speed up the process. So initially, the app was just detecting the additional categories, more or less of what GMB Spy does, but we were working on this much earlier than then. But it was really difficult for us to find a good developer. So we were facing a lot of technical issues on developing the product. So finally, we started to getting there, and we finally got a few people working on this, and we found a solution. So how the GMB Chrome extension works, it's pretty easy. So you can go to the Chrome store, you can type a GMB audit tool. You can simply download and install the application. And just a second, I need to move this bar. So basically, when you open the app, you have this simple landing page with the 3 steps. You can open Google Map search, and then you can type any business that you would like to audit. Let's say attorney in Miami. This is also the example from the explainer that we have been uploading on YouTube. So once you have been type the keyword here, you can scroll down and you can identify any listings that you want to go through. So let's say you want to analyze this listing. You want to view the categories. So you click on view categories. So in this case, there are no additional categories, okay? So let's try with another listing. So that listing is just using the main category and they are not adding any additional category. And they are on the number 1 spot. So those 2 are paid results. This is the number 1, this is number 2, this is the number 3. Let's check this one, the number 3. Okay. Okay, no additional category. So anyway, anytime that you want to analyze which additional category any listing is using, you can just click to view categories, and then you can grab all the additional categories used by that specific listing, okay? And so that you can raise and repeat the same process for multiple listings that you want to analyze, and you can take a note, or if you want, you can download directly the CSV file from the application. Let's try for the last time this one. Okay, no additional category. So for this specific niche, it seems like the most of the listing are using just the primary category. So if you want to go through a specific listing and you want to see in deep how much they posting, how often they are posting, if they are stuffing like keywords into the business title, what you can do, you can again click into any of the property that you want to analyze. And then you click on search now and you let the app working. So it's crucial at this stage to just let the application running. You don't have to open any other tab or launching like multiple tasks or multiple analysis through the app. And so once you click to the search now button, it will redirect you to Google search. And from the Google search page, now the application will start analyzing and scraping how many GMB posts this listing has in total, and how often they have been posting in the last 90 days. So we also want to detect the publishing frequency. Usually in the most and a highly competitive niche, we have been noticed that most of the listing they are posting very often. And this is the reason why we are also coming up with, as I said before, with the post count, which is the total post count of this listing, which this listing has in total 11 posts. In the last 90 days, they have been posting for just 3 times. They have 117 reviews. The rating is also pretty high, and so on. So as I say before, you can repeat the exercise for multiple listing and for multiple keywords. And then once you re-land into the GMB Crash landing page, you can simply click to the download CSV file. You can download the file and you can keep storing all the other data for all the other competitors. Okay, so you can also clean the data. You can open the Google Map search, and another interesting thing that you can do here, you can also repeat the exercise, and you can audit the Google Map page 1, again attorney Miami. You simply click on the get results button, and bam, it's done. So basically, by this, we can detect which listings are consistently paying ads, AD label, yes, yes. So those two listings are paying ads for attorney Miami. We can also analyze the main trend, the main trend for the main category. So main category trend for Google Map page 1. We can audit how the other listings are using the main category. We can get a rough idea on the average amount of reviews that you need to be competitive on this niche, and the types of rating that you need to be competitive on this niche. We can also detect the address, so we can get a clear idea of how Google is clustering certain type of businesses around a specific part of the city. So this is also an interesting features that we are developing into the official web app. We have a zip code, a difficulty score, and we want to define for a specific target listing how difficult it is to rank under a specific zip code. And since everything is happening in marketing now at micro level, we really feel that it's very important to understand how competitive certain niche is, how competitive a certain keyword is, not only for citywide searches, but also for searches that are happening under your zip code, since the proximity now it's a huge ranking factor, as we well know. And so what you can do here, once you have been launching this type of search, another interesting things that you can do, and that we do internally as agency, we are checking which listings are considered by us as outsiders. So by outsiders, we mean listings that they are strong in reviews, they are strong in ratings, but somehow they are not ranking next to the 3-pack, but they are just pretty far from the 3-pack. And those are potential clients for us. So what we usually do, we establish, of course, which listings are on the 3-pack, and then we keep scrolling. So this listing can be for us a potential client because they have a very high rating, lots of reviews, they are on position 4. So it can be a potential clients that we can we usually analyze the website. We start to run an audit, and we usually start to pitch the client, showing them what they can do to improve. What happens most of the time, they are just using the wrong main category. They are using a wrong set of additional categories. So what we found really useful sometime, when a website is really on point, when a website is already fully optimized, and has been choosing the wrong main category and additional category, it's causing like huge problem on ranking. So we also noticed that sometimes the exact order of the additional categories it's playing also it's triggering the way the property it's ranking. And of course, this is also has to be at the net of a very well optimized website. Anything else happening inside and outside of your GMB listing must to be on point. The website has to be topical relevant. You need to have a lot of local quality backlinks and blah, blah, blah content and etc. But it's very important choosing the main and the additional categories. Sometimes for certain niches, we have noticed that Google is preferring listing with just one main category without any additional category. So it's very important to audit several listings and see what's going on, not only in the 3-pack, but also get a clear idea of the other listings. Also, as you can see, number 14 here, it's also interesting, 870 reviews, and this one also 556. So we usually identify which listings are underperforming. We pitch them, we start to check the website. If they need a website, we can also create an upselling plan for the business. We can say, hey guys, you need a better website because your competitors are doing much better than you in this and that area. Okay, so this is how basically the application works. You can also download the CSV file and you can repeat the process and you can store multiple data here. We are also preparing an additional spreadsheet that allows you to filter in and filter out specific listing and specific categories, ratings, reviews, so that eventually, once you start to collect a lot of data, we will provide you with a spreadsheet that allows you to filter out and see how consistently certain listings are paying ads. So are those also listings that are potential clients? Because for certain keywords, everybody knows how the cost per click is. It's a high CPC. It can cost dollars, so it's very expensive sometimes bidding for certain keywords. And I'm pretty sure that those listings, like for example the first two are paying ads, could be potentially very interested about knowing how SEO can help them to get better leads and to save money. And in the meantime, they can keep running ads, but in the meantime, your company or you as a freelancer or whatever can strategize with them the best plan, the best strategy, not only for the GMB, but also content base and stuff like that. Okay, so this is what you can do using the application. We are also putting up together our Google My Business template. We will share it in the group after today. Just to give you a quick some insights on what we used to audit manually. We have a section that is called Business Info. So Business Info, it's the tab that you need to fill up with all your information about your business, which email address and password you have been using to manage citation, previous business location information, previous business information if there was any difference from the past. And then we have a section that I will share with you later with all the main Google My Business questions that we have been using internally to run audits before. It's a long list. So from our consideration, it's also very important to understand if your business is located in the city center. And also this question must be correlated on how Google is clustering results around a specific area of the city. So if is that the case, we also wanted always understand how far from the city center the business is, and what the zip code of the business is. Are there on the 3-pack businesses under the same zip code, and etc. So by this zip code analysis, it's for us has been always been important understanding how Google is clustering the results for certain zip codes. And sometimes if your business is too far from the centroid, it's important to talk with the owner, or also for yourself considering probably opening a new office, a new location.
One of the things, Matt, just to step in, one of the things I mentioned, because I'm actually I'm editing and adding some things to the ebook like I usually do about every 3 months. And I've mentioned this in another class. When you're setting up your GMB, what I encourage everybody to do, because I've tested this, I know a couple other people have tested it, and I know it works, is if you go to Wikipedia and find out the latitude and longitude for the city you're trying to rank in, get your address as close as possible to that latitude and longitude, and you can almost rank with very little backlinks whatsoever, just because you're in the proximity of that latitude and longitude. Your rankings and your grids will be green with doing, the basic setups like we go over. So that would be my suggestion. That's all.
Yeah,
With what
absolutely.
you're going here with the zip code and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, if you are trying to compete with the listing that is completely outside of the way Google is clustering those results, you will face hard time. So totally agree with William about this. So I will share with you this spreadsheet later on, but as you can see here, we have been always considering a lot of things. So you can go through this later. Back to the Chrome extension. So you can basically use the Chrome extension in 2 ways. So you can use the Chrome extension to run Google My Business audits. Of course, those are just quick insights that you can gain. You need to go much deeper into the analysis, especially if you or your clients are operating in highly competitive niches. And then you can also grab insights on the main category trend for the Google My Business page 1. You can identify again which listings are paying ads, which listings are potential clients, what's the average amount of reviews that you need to be competitive. If there is any listing on the top 3 that is not showing the address, so sometimes we got this question a lot of times from clients. They want to know if hiding the address sometimes is penalizing them. And on certain niches, we also recently see listings ranking on the top 3 without showing the address. But, this is just a nice and easy way to speed up the process, to gain quick insights on main additional categories, publishing frequency, how many times they have been posting, how authoritative the listing is in terms of total GMB post count. You can also identify potential clients and so on. So this is what the Chrome extension does. We are now working and finalizing in technology partnership with Data for SEO, the web app. We are also working on the web app project since the last 2 years. We will probably have another opportunity to talk about this So if anybody has
When do you think
questions,
the web app will be out?
I think we are very close to the beta version of it, maybe in a few weeks.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd love to do that because, you know, that's the main that and this Chrome extension are the two things I really want to dive into.
it was very challenging. It was a very challenging project because we are combining different API. We have been also developing our own API, so and our own algorithm based on 24 plus factors, and still a
For
lot of
those of y'all that don't understand, when you talk about API, it's one of the things I talked to him originally. I wanted to do something similar, but not the same thing. But the problem is with Google API, you get the API developer. You could work on this for 1, 2, 3 years, get down to the end of it, and Google goes, nope, I don't like it.
exactly.
And then you've put all that time and effort in for nothing. And you just got to keep bending over backwards until Google says, yes, you've been a good boy, and they let you do what you want to do. You got to obey,
Very
obey
true.
their rules. So
Actually,
that's what he's referring to. And it's a lot of hard work. It's not as easy as just, hey, throw something together and put it out and it's done. So
actually, on top of this, we have been waiting for to get access to the Google My Business API for more than 6 months. So it was pre-COVID, and it was like they have been asking a lot of documents. So yeah, it takes time. True.
So, I mean, y'all have any questions? Now's a good time. Start dropping your questions. And, you know, I'm sure, let me see if y'all have any in here that I've seen. Hello, Carlos going from Brazil.
Bom dia.
Yes. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Go ahead. Y'all are a quiet bunch tonight.
Okay, so on top of this, another interesting things that we are developing through the web app, it's a geo-marketing product, which is also attached to the main web app. I also saw that in the audience, we have a geo-marketing expert, a geo-marketing person. So by this geo-marketing software product, we are going to analyze and extract from the map a lots of interesting insights based on a specific geo radius. So we will be able to extract the interest on that specific area, the demographic, the daily traffic. We will extract a lot of data. So this can be useful. So once you are dealing with big companies, so for example, now we are approaching here in Thailand, a huge company, they own digital billboards, and they are spreading those digital billboards around Thailand. In Bangkok, they have over 1,300 locations. So by the geo-marketing function, we are extracting a lot of interesting data. And it's very important for a multi-location business, like it can be like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever, to understand and also forecasting on which location they should open in the future. Because once you are pulling out a lot of data and then you are digging deeper into the GMB data, and you are aggregating data, and you are also understanding the demographic of a specific area, what sort of interest are dominant for a specific area, it will be much easier for a bigger company, for a multi-location company, understanding and forecasting where they should open at. So I personally know agencies in the UK or in the US that they are managing franchising. It can also be very useful for franchisee. those multi-location companies, they always want to know how the listings are performing, which listing is getting most of the traffic out, which listing are getting most of the call out, driving request. They can also establish from a specific geo point where most of the driving requests are coming from. They can also explore around that area if they have any branch open, or if they are planning, if they should plan to open up a new location, and so on. So the geo marketing, it's becoming a real thing. Also, the blockchain technology, it's moving into it's exploring a lot of possibility to expand the geo marketing. Everything is moving at geo level. And we really feel that this trend is going to getting stronger and stronger by the months and by the years. And here we go. So if you have any question, guys, please let me know. I will be sharing into the Google My Business group this long and deep audit, this huge Google My Business audit template. And
yeah, if y'all aren't paying attention, I know most of y'all are in the GMB group, but if you're not paying attention, and Matt's been dropping a lot of gold nuggets. He's been dropping a lot of things that most people aren't seeing, and he highlights different features that Google is testing. Might not be quote unquote official, but they're at least beta testing certain things to see, for instance, the 2-pack, different chat features, all that stuff. He's just been dropping in the group. So I appreciate him dropping that stuff in the group as well. And just follow him if anything. If go add him on Facebook, follow him. Once we're done here, if you can send me your contact information, that Google spreadsheet for the audit, and especially your contact information, because I want to put that in the back end, because a lot of these people will have questions, or once they watch the replay, because we have people that'll want watching a replay and they may want to build contact and reach out to you. So
right. Thank you, William.
yes, sir.
Yeah, we really feel that Google My Business, Google is investing a lot of effort into GMB. We also noticed that once you are landing into the Google Guarantee program, once you land into the landing page, that it's becoming a separate search engine. And along with those paid results, there are also organic results. So
I never really understood why they were doing the Google Guaranteed per se, because I remember when they first rolled it out, I had a client that was, let's say, spending $30,000-$40,000, somewhere in that range on Google AdWords. And when we switched to Google Guaranteed, we cut it down to about $6,000. The leads were higher quality. And then we never had to go back to doing $20,000-$30,000 a month in, in ad spend.
Wow.
We always kept it around $8,000 and, less than $10,000 a month. And the leads were much higher quality. And we still were getting 100+ leads. And this was for a roofer. So this was, I remember pre-COVID, we closed out during COVID. He closed out the most roofs he's ever closed out in the entire, in his entire career, which was over 100 roofs. So in a month. But that was with Google Guarantee. I never get why they did it, because it's Google Guaranteed, honestly, is a really good way to not have to spend as much money if you're doing Google ads. Same thing with the GMB ads. If you can actually do a GMB ad, most people don't give a crap if it's an ad, but they're not as expensive as Google ads, and obviously higher quality, because a person has buyer intent most of the time when they're clicking on a GMB listing. So
yeah, super true. There
All
is
right,
also
guys,
another
any
interesting.
questions?
Please.
Yep, any questions? Scott says he'll have to catch the replay. He came in late. But yeah, I mean, go ahead. I'm just here if anybody has questions, just trying to see if anybody's got questions. Usually you got a lot of people that have questions, so. Can you spill the golden nuggets using, this is from Anthony, can you spill the golden nuggets regarding using, I guess, GMB Crush? What's the benefit that this gives you versus just doing it manually?
Well, actually, the Chrome extension helps you to speed up the process, especially when it comes to auditing what's going on the first page. Not only for the top 3 results, but when you want to gain insights about potential listings that can be in the future your competitors. You know, sometimes we are not aware of what's happening on the at the bottom of the page, and it's so useful sometimes to take a look there, because you know, for certain listings, once they get a good SEO plan, they can be really strong competitors for you, and strong competitor of course for your clients that are paying you. And it's also always important to keep an eye on how you can speed up the lead generation process. So for us, GMB Crush, especially the extension, it's serving us as a lead generation machine.
I mean, the one thing I know you can't, I don't believe you can do it. I'd love to see someone be able to do it, but you can look at one specific category, but with GMB Crush, it enables you to look at all the categories and see if they actually have it. Like in this example you're given here, you see that the top 3 people outside of the 2 ads, right? Out of the top 3 people, they're using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the top 5 are all criminal justice attorney. And if you go further down, then they'll just use personal injury attorney or just district attorney or just lawyer, wherein they probably shouldn't just be using lawyer, you know, or just a generalized term. They should use more of a very specific category, which would be criminal justice attorney, specifically for that GMB search, you know. And then
sometimes it's also interesting how Google is trying to allocate space not only for one dominant main category, but sometimes it's also helping you testing. So what we usually do, we are also testing if there is space for a main category that it's not on the 3-pack. So for example, here we have personal injury attorney, and Google is allocating space for personal injury attorney between criminal justice attorney as a main category. So it's probably also Google trying to offer different results. I think also CTR metrics here are also playing an important metric for Google to understand which listing should be here. So probably also this one, it's the top 2. It's getting a lot of clicks, and so sometimes it's always important, if you have a very well optimized listing, if your website is very well optimized. We have been testing several times, just playing a little bit with the main category, just playing with the additional categories, also the order of the additional categories. Of course, you need to be sure that those additional categories are mirroring what you got on the website. Sometimes we are landing to clients that they are just stuffing additional categories into the GMB listing, and when you are checking the actual website, there are no services that are reflecting what the Google My Business is telling to Google about the business, right? So once you are sure that your website is on point, you can start to playing a bit with those additional and primary category and see how the listing reacts. In my specific case, I've been playing a lot for SEO Hero to rank on the Google map. We are competing, of course, against other SEO agencies. And I've noticed that, sometimes just changing the main category, it's helping us to gain a spot when Google is pulling out our listing from the three pack. And for instance, if all the listings on the three pack are all using the same main category, so for example, I don't know, internet marketing services is the main primary category, we can gain a spot if we add marketing agency as a primary category. So in that case, we think that Google is giving us a space and is trying to create a little bit of different results, because SEO and digital marketing, of course, is also closely related to marketing agency, not only to internet marketing services. And so you can also test on from your own. I've been reading a very interesting case study from Sterling Sky. You can Google it. And this case study was addressing if adding more than an additional category to your Google My Business is diluting the power of your main additional category. So that's not the case. So what we do recommend here is always to analyze what Google is rewarding, which listing is rewarding, why. It's always important not to check only what and how the Google My Business has been optimized, but also what's happening at website level. I'm right, William?
Yep. I only use, when it comes to categories, I use the main category and I'll use a maximum of 4 other categories. I don't, I've usually found that you have people that will use, over 10, 20 categories. I mean, just outlandishly ridiculous. And then they're not ranking. And then I'll come in there and I'll remove all of them, but like 4 of them, or 4 to 5 altogether. And then their rankings, give it a month, they'll be up, just because they're not diluting the, if you will, the search results, or telling Google what they're about. For me, it's like, are you about personal injury attorney? Is that your main thing? Or are you do have, 20 other departments? What some lawyers actually do. They do actually have 4 or 5 other departments, but most of them are not going to have 20 other departments,
Correct. So another interesting things that we can do, this is outside of the Chrome extension. We are also using keyword insights from Google Search Console and from the Google My Business listing insights, keywords inside, to create like a content plan. So what we usually do, we use Google Sheet. And let's make an example. We use an add-on which is called Search Analytics for Sheet. You can simply add it, clicking on Get Add-on, and you can import it. It's very easy, a few clicks. And then once you have it here listed on the Add-on tab, you can click to open search bar. Let me show you what we usually do and why. So let's see if it's working. Let me reload it. Okay, so once you click to add-on and then you click again on open sidebar, you can, of course, you must be logged into the same Gmail account that you are using to manage clients. This is very important. Otherwise, you won't be able to pick up the domain that you want to go through. So basically you can pull out, let's say we have this famous tattoo studio here in Bangkok, and we are also managing their GMB listings. And what we do select the main domain here, then we select the date range, of course 2021. So let's see what's happening here in the last 30 days. So from April 1 to May 1, and then we define on Google Sheet the search type that we want to go through. So you can define image or video, which types of results we want to catch. Web results, then you can group it by query and by pages and by country. So what we are doing here, we are basically checking through Google Search Console which keywords are triggering Google loading your website for a specific keyword. So every time somebody is typing a keyword on Google, even if your website is on page 20, 30, 40, or wherever it is, but Google loads it as a part of the results under that specific query, we will be able to catch those results and importing those results automatically into the Google Sheet. So we are telling Google, please Google Sheet, we want to import all the queries that our website has been loaded for in the last 30 days, query pages, and from which country those results has been loaded. And you just click to request data. And shortly, I will also tell you why we are doing this. So once you click request data, the system is automatically importing those data, at least should. And you will be able to see all the query, all the number of impression. Okay, so what we do here for the client, we want to define basically 3 types of query. We want to define brand queries. We want to define implicit searches. Implicit searches are like, for example, tattoo or tattoo studio. And we also want to define explicit searches like tattoo removal Bangkok. It's very explicit. The user is searching for a tattoo removal studio in Bangkok. So explicit is also like tattoo studio in Bangkok, tattoo shop in Bangkok, and so on, okay? So what we usually do here, we are checking how many clicks a specific keyword, a specific query has had in the last 30 days, how many impressions, what the CTR was, and also the average position. And what you can do here, you can also trigger like daily updates. So if you are triggering and you are requesting through the Google Sheet to receive daily updates, you will receive this spreadsheet automatically on your inbox daily basis. And you can see in the previous 24 hours what was triggering Google to loading your website. So back to the GMB post plan, what we usually do, we are collecting all the keyword from Keyword Insights. We are also collecting all the keywords coming from here. If you're scrolling, I promise you, you will find a lot of interesting keywords that you never thought about. You can also include those keywords into your PPC campaign. You can also understand if there is any problem with the keywords overlapping to a specific page, because here we can clearly see which URL has been showed or has been loaded by Google for attached to a specific query. What you can do, you can start to dig deeper inside this keyword list, and you can start understanding in the last 30 days or in the last week how the trending, how the searching are swifting from a specific topic to another topic, how you are ranking for that specific topic, from which countries those results are coming from. Of course, for us, it's always important focusing on searchings coming from Thailand. And so we start to empower our GMB post planning. So we want to use keywords that are relevant for your business and that Google recognizes as relevant for our listing. You can start to create a lot of interesting posts. So for example, you can talk about Japanese tattoo. You can start to talk in that specific studio what kind of ink is used for tattoo, and so on. You can also get a lot of ideas to create a new post if you don't have any specific piece of content for a specific query here. And you can also start to see how the people are searching for your brand name. It's also very interesting sometimes to understand how the people are searching for your brand name, because sometimes the competition is bidding on Google Ads for your own brand. So they want to steal customer from your brand, and you want to be sure that you are using all the keywords. You know, you want to use all the variant of the main keyword, and you want to be sure that you are getting also impressions and clicks and exposure for some of the keywords that you never thought about, right? So maybe you can come up with some new PPC campaign for best artist, tattoo artist in Thailand, and you probably never consider that keyword, or tattoo fish Bangkok or tattoo studio near me, and so on. It's always important also to see from your keyword insights if the keywords that Google is listing on the keyword insights from GMB, if those keywords are really relevant to your listing, if those keywords are really important for your business. Sometimes we have been checking, and for new clients, we see a lot of unrelated keyword. So, and that's really bad, because it means that those are unique visitors, okay? And the reason why we are digging deeper into this spreadsheet and we are pulling out data from Google Search Console is because these results are results that Google has been loaded. So out of million results, if we are searching for tattoo studio Bangkok, Google has been loaded for this specific query 9,622,000 results. So if our website, or if the website attached to your GMB listing has been loaded here, we will clearly see also for which keywords your website has been loaded, not only at website level, but also at GMB level. Because here in the 3-pack, every time Google is loading results, it's also loading your listing, and your listing is, let's say, 90% of the cases attached to your website, right? So your website is part of the search results, and you want to know also for which other potential terms your GMB listing is showing for, and you can start to inject a lot of GMB posts into your listing talking about these kind of things, and so that you can empower your listing. Another important thing is also to understand how many times the near me word it's appearing from your keyword listing insights from GMB, because people are not only searching, are not only typing and searching for a business, but they are also using the voice. So voice search is becoming almost 60% of the total searches now. And it's very important, because when you are searching by voice, you are always searching in a completely different way than when you are using your hands to type and search for something, especially at local level. And since the COVID came in, everybody wants to be sure that can find something pretty close to their location. So of course, tattoo shops now here, for example, are closed. So we are not expecting much searches for tattoo shops. But for any other service like health clinic services and private hospitals, we have seen a lot of research and searches coming up for example, health clinic near me or private hospital near me, COVID test clinic near me, and blah, 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 and so on. So this is also another interesting things that you can do. It's free. You can just access to Google Sheet. Once again, you get the add-on, you import the add-on, and then you open the sidebar and you can start to pulling out data, just playing with this, okay? You can request a backup. You can request a backup, as I say, daily. You can again set and group by the backup, by query, by pages, by device. So another interesting thing that we can do, merging data from Google Search Console and Google Analytics. We can also define how a specific page is performing for our top devices. So sometimes we see for certain sites or for certain countries that we are receiving a lot of traffic for a specific device, type of device. And when we are digging into the screen resolution and we are testing the website under that specific device resolution, we notice that the website is not really responsive. So I just want to tell you guys, it's very important also to check how a specific page, especially if that specific page is receiving a lot of impression and clicks, how that specific page is performing in comparison with your top device. So you can filter out the top device listing and top browser listing that are driving traffic to your website directly from Google Analytics. And once you start to merging and comparing those data with your top devices and you start to testing screen resolution, I'm pretty sure that you will find out that sometimes for certain types of devices, you will need to adjust your website. You will just need to adjust your landing page. And when it comes from a Google My Business perspective, we all know that most of the people in the daily time, they are using mobile device. And if from a specific mobile device, from a specific screen resolution, if the end user is landing into that landing page, if he's landing into your landing page and the website is not performing well, it's going to cost you money, because at the end of the day, everything it comes at conversion level, not only traffic level. So we also want to be sure that we are pulling out data device based. So we also want to understand from which device we are getting a lot of impression and clicks. We can merge those data and compare those data from the data that we are pulling out from Google Analytics, and we can narrowing down the data and understanding where the problems are. So usually we do this combining, as I say, Search Console, Google Analytics, sometimes Hotjar, or sometimes we are also using SmartLook, because SmartLook, I do recommend you guys to give you a look, to check SmartLook. SmartLook, it's very similar to Hotjar, but you can also clustering pages which are triggering JavaScript issues. And you can also narrowing and filtering out from which specific device those issues are coming from. So it's very important for us here internally as an agency to understand how we can maximize the traffic and how we can maximize the conversion. Because for a client, sometimes they are spending money with us with SEO, but sometimes they are also spending money with Google Ads and with other paid traffic sources. And especially now with COVID, every business owner it's very sensitive on the way they are spending the money. And we want to be sure that we can maximize not only the traffic, but the conversions. So once you define here how you want to get the backup, your daily backup, you will get an email. Okay, you will get an email in your inbox to this Gmail account that is attached to the search console, to your search console or to your client search console, and you will get flagging this option an email backup. Okay, and you can also ask to run a backup cycle right away. So once you have been selecting those, you can click to enable backup, and so you will receive daily basis a backup. So once you will receive this spreadsheet on your inbox, you can assign the task to any team member, and you can ask them to check how a specific set of keywords it's trending, how a specific set of keywords it's plumbing, how a certain page it's appearing for multiple keywords. So you might have some problem with keywords cannibalization, and you want to be sure that your content is not overlapping across pages and so on. As I say before, this is a free tool. It costs you nothing. It can empower your content strategy, not only at website level, but it can also empower the way you are strategizing to win on Google My Business, to create Google posts. You can better understand how the users are searching for specific keywords that you can use to create content, and you can use to empower your paid ad strategy. So you can sometimes, detect nice keywords. You can spot out keywords that you never thought about. You can spot out if sometime the competitor's brand name is triggering somehow Google search results for some of your pages. And you can also understand how the users are searching for your brand name plus keywords. And so when the competitors are bidding against you, and this is happening also for us a lot of times, I'm seeing competitors bidding on our brand name. They want to bid on our brand name, and they are trying to steal clients from us. So I personally want to dig deeper with my team into this spreadsheet, and I want to understand how the users are searching for our brand name. So in this case, this is a tattoo studio, and the name of this tattoo studio is All Day Tattoo Studio, right? So I want to know exactly how the users are using the brand name of my clients plus certain keywords. So I will eventually buy an exact match on Google Ads. So, and by an exact match, I will lowering the cost per click. And I will also be sure that my clients, it's covering most of the query, that my client has got most of the exposure for its brand, and that we are always ranking on top of the competition when the competition is trying to sell clients from my listing, for instance. And so what we also do in addition, we set, especially on Google Ads, campaigns to be on the top spot for 100% of the times. So if you don't know it on Google Ads, you probably know it. You also have the option to asking Google to set the campaign to get most of the impression. And also Google is asking through the setting for how many times do you want to get most of the impressions out. So you can set that you want to gain for your brand name campaign on Google Ads 100% of the impressions, and you also want to be on the top of the competitors 100% of the times. And that's what we do recommend to clients, because in the end of the day, especially if you are working with a very well-established business locally, they have already a lot of searches. They have already a lot of searches coming from the brand name. So I don't understand for which reason you should lose traffic when your competitors are bidding on your brand name and you are just leaving a lot of money on the table, because as we will know, the top spots are always gaining most of the impression, the clicks, and most of the traffic out. So for us, it's very, very important to secure our clients the best traffic, because we are not talking only about traffic, but we also want to talk about converting traffic and how to maximize the spending, because we, as I say before, we are always buying those matching keywords on Google Ads so that we can lower down the cost per click, and we can also maximize the presence. So we are, as I say before, we are combining this set of keywords, and we are also combining and digging deeper into the keyword insights section from your Google My Business. So we start pulling out all the keywords from the keyword insights, and based on those keywords, because those keywords are coming from individual searches, okay? And we want to be sure that the next time the user will eventually find one of our Google My Business posts for that specific keyword. So once that user or a new user will type that specific keywords, we want to be sure that Google will trigger, will be showing our listing for that attached to that specific keywords. And so for that specific reason, we will build a Google post. So you probably notice that most of the time, sometimes, most of the time, often, it really depends by the niche. Google, it's pulling out data from keyword. It's pulling out, it's pulling out keywords from reviews. It's pulling out keywords from Google posts. And it's very useful to understand for which keyword Google is triggering your ads for. And you want to be sure that you are including those keywords on your Google My Business offers, that you are including those keywords inside the content of your GMB post, and so on. So I also recently found some GMB listing, and with the pictures that were including captions. So I don't know on how many niches this is happening, but I had noticed that Google is pushing and it's inviting users to keep publishing and uploading picture from outside. So basically, if you go to Google search and you identify any GMB listing that you want to go through, you will see that just next to the opening hours panel, you will notice that the Google has been adding a new button, and this new button says add the photo. So it's inviting users to add photo. And from what I noticed from certain niches, you can upload a photo, including a caption. So just imagine that, as you well know now, the Google technology is getting really strong on analyzing pictures, analyzing photos, finding correlation between photos and pictures and your business. So just imagine now, since it's the opportunity given to users of uploading pictures and adding a caption, how this aspect will be important from time to time. So I'm a user, I went to a restaurant, I'm taking a picture of my favorite dishes, I'm going back home, and I'm uploading a picture. So from the phone, if in that specific phone the EXIF data are being enabled, once the user will upload that picture to your GMB listing, Google will detect from which location those pictures are being uploaded. If the user is also adding a caption to a picture, it will drop an additional value. It will drop an additional contextual, relevance to your listing, and so on. So that's all for now, guys. If there is any question, please let me know. I will be also sharing this massive massive, 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 massive Google My Business audit checklist with William, and we will find the best way to allow you to grab it. So if you have any question, your microphone, William, it's off.
If you wanted to, we'll add it, send it to me via Facebook, and then we'll add it to the back end or email, either one. And I'll add it to the back end of the group as a file. That way everybody in the class can have it.
We got 31 now, guys. Where have you been at?
Yeah, they show up. It's like when you first start, for the most part, you'll have 10, 15 people, but then they slowly come in because it's over in their world right now. It's about 9, 10 p.m. on East Coast. So
Awesome. Good evening, guys.
all right, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys, and we're going to put this in the back end of the group, his spreadsheet, his SOPs, all that information be in the back end. I appreciate you guys. I'll be on tomorrow. Rest of the week's pretty much going to be a Q&A. It's going to be, you know, basically me on there. You tell me what you want me to go over, and I'm going to go over it because this week is my final week. The only time that I'll probably have another guest this week is going to be from Link Daddy. He's my link provider for the most part, and he's got the oldest PBN. He's got the oldest niche relevant, largest network, over 1 million plus freaking websites. And we're working on a special for everybody. So basically, you're going to be getting a special no one else is going to get. So, but hopefully he'll be on this week because he is traveling right now. I believe he's in Russia. Okay. And he just left, I think, Thailand. And
wow.
he was over in Thailand and a couple other places. Now I think he's in Russia, but he travels all around. So his time at this time is like 3 a.m. So
okay.
So I got to work that out. So, but he'll probably be on this week. But the rest of the week, Q&As. So get your questions ready because we're going to go over live in the class and everything. This week's the final week. Next week, I'm going to do about 102 videos, little shorts, where basically they're not going to be on YouTube. So don't even think they're going to be on YouTube. We're going to have to go on the back end of the course where I'm going to go how to set up a Google Search Console, how to do Google Analytics, how to do your schema. You know, what is schema? 5-minute little shorts, because a lot of the agencies I work with on top of people in the class want to know, okay, why is Google Search Console important? Why is Google Analytics important? How do I speed up my website? And I can answer all those in like 5-minute videos. So they will not be live. So this week is your final week. And then next week, I'm going to do all those little shorts. So get your questions ready and everything. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate
great session. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. You are welcome. Thank you, William, for inviting.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it too. Thank you so much.